Hello, my name is Noel Wade, and I'm Sonex plans holder number 1339. And I'm here today to share a few tips regarding surface finishing your Sonex parts. Please note that the tips, tools, and techniques that I'm about to discuss are what works for me. I make no warranties or disclaimers that they will work for you or that they are safe ways to proceed. I believe that all builders need to investigate that for themselves. So, let's talk about the Scotch-Brite wheel. When you first cut a part or a blank for your Sonex, you will typically use something like a bandsaw or a miter saw in order to get either a long straight cut or a 90-degree cut such as this. And I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but this typically leaves a very rough edge. And that roughness can lead to parts either not sitting flush with each other or to cracks as these rough edges become stress risers on the final part. So, we need to finish these parts and give them a smooth finish. One such way to do that is with a hand file. Various grades of hand files can be used to provide a smooth finish. Another way is with Scotch-Brite pads and manually polishing by hand. But the gold standard that most people use is the Scotch-Brite wheel. And it is a very effective and helpful tool, but it has a few drawbacks that I'd like to touch on first. For one, the Scotch-Brite wheel here has a material that's fairly aggressive. And when you're first starting out, the Scotch-Brite wheel, it's very easy to remove too much material, and once you've done that, you have to throw your part out and start again. Second of all, and most importantly, the Scotch-Brite wheel is circular, and this imposes some serious limitations or tricks that you have to work around. For example, because it's a curved part here, you only have a small segment that you can use if you're trying to polish a long straight edge. You either have to move the material up and down to bring this small area in contact with the edge and work it very evenly, or you have to bring it across like this, although that risks the part flipping down, so you have to be careful. Always use gloves, always use eye protection, of course. Some people will talk about using the side surface of the Scotch-Brite wheel by removing the guard. One thing to note there is if you try to go above, the spinning motion of the wheel will try to kick the part back into you. If you use it below, the spinning will try to take the part out of your hand away from you and pull your hand in towards the tool. You can go vertically and then your forces are just straight down, but it's important to note, because this wheel is spinning, the inside of the wheel is moving at a slower speed than the outside, and so more abrasive surface is going to pass by your part when it's near the edge of the wheel. What this means is that if you hold the material like this or even like this, the parts that are near the outside of the Scotch-Brite wheel are going to get more material removed. And so again, you'll lose that straight edge. You'll get an edge that wanders because different amounts of material have been removed at different rates by the spinning disc. So, let me bring out a different tool and show you an alternative that a few Sonex-builders showed me that I think is very useful, very inexpensive, and can get around many of the limitations of the Scotch-Brite wheel. So here is our alternative to the Scotch-Brite wheel. This is a Harbor Freight 1-inch belt sander. It retails for somewhere between $30 and $40, and it comes with a 1-inch belt sander and a guard, which I've removed for the purposes of this demonstration. The nice thing about this is that without the guard, it is very easy to pop the belt off of this tool, and for just a few dollars a piece, you can buy Scotch-Brite belts. These use a similar material to the Scotch-Brite wheel, but they're in belt fashion, and the nice thing is you can order them in different colors and different grits, essentially, so you can achieve the surface finishing aggressiveness or smoothness that you desire. I personally prefer the maroon Scotch-Brite belts. They seem to work well for most of the different surface finish types I've been going for, or starting points in terms of the bandsaw or a miter saw cut. This seems to handle a wide variety, but you can order different grits and use the ones that work best for you. So, to use them, it's very simple. You simply remove the guard and you pop the belt onto the wheels. And one thing before I get the belt fully seated I want you to note is that the Harbor Freight device here has this nice metal backing plate, and this provides a nice straight piece for us to press inward against if we want to get really aggressive and try to take a bunch of material off. So, once the belt is mounted here, we simply turn it on or off using the on-off switch. The one limitation or trick to this device is that it was intended to be used with very thin sanding belts. These Scotch-Brite belts are very thick, and so they have a tendency to rub on the metal guide back here. You can get around that by either slightly bending the guide up, or the really easy, somewhat cheesy fix is that when you turn it on, if the belt stalls, simply take the palm of your gloved hand and smack it to move the belt. Once the belt starts moving, the motor is powerful enough to keep it spinning and will bring it up to full RPM. So, the way we use this is we just simply take our part and we press it up against the belt. And as you can see, there is some bow to the belt, especially up high here, so you need to be aware of that so you don't curve your part. But down here where this metal backing plate is, we can make a nice straight edge. And because this is moving linearly, we don't have to worry about material being removed at different rates on different parts. So we can either, if we have a long edge, we can go at an angle here, or we can go across. We have this nice plate we can rest it against to resist the downward motion of the belt. If we want to preserve a 90-degree angle, we can set this and then simply slide the part against the metal backing plate here. We also have some interesting options because with curved parts, we can actually use the wheel at the top and gently press against it to form our parts. Additionally, we have the edges of the belt that we can use to get around corners and either where the metal backing plate is or up in space here, work the part as the belt comes past and really get into some of these tough to reach areas. So let me just briefly demo this, and you can see how we will take this rough edge, and I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but we'll quickly take it down to a smooth edge with this belt. So, pardon the noise. Okay, bonus tip on the video, you have to plug in your tools before you demonstrate them. So let's give it a try. I'm wearing thick gloves here. This does reduce my dexterity a bit. However, I find it's good heat protection just for this demo. So we're just going to turn the part on, the tool on rather, and we're going to take the part. We're just going to polish this edge of the angle here. Hopefully the camera can pick up some of the roughness on that edge that currently exists. So I'm going to go ahead and round the edge a little bit here. That's real simple to do. And then you can take this inside corner down by taking the part around the belt. Okay, so now what we have here is a part that I have taken and smoothed out the edges here. Hopefully the camera again can pick up. There's still some tool marks there, so I might need to Scotch-Brite that before I prime it. But I have actually rounded both edges all the way around here. I've rounded the inside corner and I've polished the edge, and as you can see I can touch this with my bare hand and there's no chance that I'm going to slice myself. The part is definitely that smooth. So, like I said, the part retails between $30 and $40 at Harbor Freight. You can buy the belts at a variety of places online, and I hope this helps you with your project. Best of luck.